Chapter 8, the wanderer's line. The first bloodline. Adam, Eve, Cain, and Abel, as told by Samson. East, always east. That is where Cain's feet carried him, when the ground beneath his soles no longer knew his name. I, Samson, have been a man set apart, a man thrust into paths I did not choose. And I tell you, to walk away from the place where your blood first touched the soil is to walk with a weight heavier than stone. The land of Nod was not a wasteland. There were hills that rolled like sleeping beasts, rivers that wound their way between them, and trees whose branches reached upward as though they remembered a time when they drank from Eden's light. But the ground here did not greet Cain as it once had. Each seed he planted fought him. Each harvest yielded just enough to keep him from starving, never enough to satisfy the hunger in his chest. Cain carried the mark upon him, not a visible brand for all eyes to see, but a sign that the Almighty had set, known to those who met him. It was a warning written in the soul. This man is not to be slain. And so people kept their distance, for a man marked by God's hand carries a mystery no one wishes to disturb. In Nod, Cain found a woman. Where she came from, the scroll does not say, but her eyes, I am told, were sharp, and her spirit was not bent by fear. She walked with him, not behind him, and she bore him a son. Cain named the boy Enoch, and when he built a city, the first city the world had seen, he gave it the same name. Think of this: the man cast to wander builds a place to hold men still. Perhaps he built it to defy his sentence. Perhaps he built it to root his son in a way he himself could never be rooted. A city is a kind of fortress against the restlessness of the heart, but it is also a mirror that shows the heart's true face. From Enoch came Irad. From Irad came Mehujael. From Mehujael came Methushael. From Methushael came Lamech, a man whose voice carried pride like a sword carries its edge. Lamech took 2 wives, Ada and Zillah. Ada bore Jabal, the first of those who live in tents and 10 heads. His brother Jubal was the father of all who played the lyre and flute. Zillah bore Tubal-Cain, the first to forge tools and weapons from bronze and iron. His sister was Naamah, whose beauty was said to quiet storms in the minds of men. The line of Cain gave the world shepherds and herdsmen, musicians and metal workers, the hum of strings, the clang of the forge, the lowing of cattle. All these were born from his house. But skill is not the same as righteousness. A hand can craft a harp to lift men's hearts toward heaven or to lure them toward folly. A forge can shape a plow, or it can shape a blade meant for blood. Lamech himself stood as proof. He boasted to his wives, I have killed a man for wounding me, a young man for striking me. If Cain is avenged 7-fold, then Lamech 77-fold. Here is the bitter truth. The seed of violence planted in Cain's hands did not die in the soil. It grew, it twisted itself into the roots of his line, bearing fruit that was both proud and poisonous. The shadow that crouched at Cain's door had found new doors to sit before. But Cain's was not the only branch of Adam's tree. In the camp west of Nod, Adam and Eve mourned. They mourned Abel, whose voice had been silenced. They mourned Cain, whose path had led him away from them, though his breath still warmed his body. In time, Eve bore another son. She named him Seth, saying, God has granted me another child in place of Abel, since Cain killed him. There was hope in her voice, hope that the line of the faithful had not been severed. From Seth came Enosh, and in his days, men began to call upon the name of the Lord again. This is no small thing. To call upon the name of the Lord is to stand in the open, to declare that you know who you are and who he is and what you need from him. It is to push against the weight of exile with the cry of faith. And so 2 lines now move through the earth. Cain's line, builders, smiths, musicians, wanderers who rooted themselves in stone, yet carried restlessness in their blood. Seth's line, callers upon the name, keepers of a memory older than their own bones, men and women who look toward a promise not yet seen. Both would shape the story to come. Both would carry Eden in their bones. One as a memory, the other as a womb. And the sword at the gate still turned, its flames still singing, not as a final word, but as a promise that what was lost was not lost forever. I tell you, you walk in one of these lines yourself. Every man and woman does. And the choice of which road your feet follow is not made in a single day, but in the small turnings of the heart, in the fields and altars of your own life. Now, listener, we have reached the close of the first great cycle. The breath in the dust, the woman from the bone, the whisper in the garden, the sword of flame, the sons of the earth, the gifts upon the altar, the first blood, the wanderer's line. You have heard of the making of man and woman, of the first love and the first fall, of the first murder and the first city. You have seen how the soil can carry both blessing and curse, how the heart can hold both calling and rebellion. But this is only the beginning. Ahead lies the flood, the tower, the scattering of nations. Ahead lie kings and prophets, betrayals and redemptions, wars and whispers, the rise and fall of empires. Ahead lies the thread that will one day lead to a manger and a cross and an empty tomb. And you have the chance to walk every step with us. So hear me now and hear me well. Lock in with Dark Star Frequency. Subscribe. Strike that bell so the next chapter reaches you the moment it is spoken. This is where the ancient paths are walked again, where the voices of old rise from the dust and speak into your day. We have more audiobooks coming, more series, more journeys into the mysteries and shadows of the ages. What you've heard is just the first gate. Beyond it, the road runs on, and the stories ahead will shake your soul. This is not just listening. This is stepping into the fire of the ages. Join us. Stay with us. The best is yet to come.